Hello, I'm Corey Newton. Welcome to Newton Economics and the Externality Task Force. And we're going to run you through our methodology for the numbers that we came up with and how we did it. And this is a primary source used. United States Geological Survey, preliminary assessment of water chemistry related to groundwater flooding in Warsaw, New York, 2009 through 11. This document was released in October of 2012. As we see, it's prepared in cooperation with the New York City Department of Environmental Protection. I'm going to scroll through that. Scientific Investigations Report 2012-5144. Now, for a report entitled Water Chemistry Results, we have water sources in chemistry, and these only say, this basically says nothing. This says nothing. What we get to is tables 3 through 5, all the way in the back. We're going to bounce to those. References are cited. Look at all the references. Blank page, tables 3 through 5. These are 8 pages of water chemistry results. Now these are got all sorts of things in them I didn't analyze. I just went for the bad ones because I don't have time to go through all of this stuff. And here we go. Here we begin. Now, unless otherwise noted, concentrations in micrograms per liter, parts per million, unless otherwise noted. So, arsenic, barium appear. Well, barium appears on this page. Beryllium appears on this page. Cadmium, chromium. I mean, they just have this thing so tangled up. Here's arsenic. Arsenic. So let's just go through. See, as you see, these are just numbers. How do you know what these mean? Are these elevated? Are these good numbers? Are they bad numbers? I have no idea. So I wanted to benchmark them against something to see if they were good or they were bad. Because this is a mile up the road from me. So what did I use? National Primary Drinking Water Regulations, EPA. Arsenic. This is the maximum contaminant level. Skin damage or problems with circulatory systems and may have increased risk of getting cancer. 0.010. Okay. So percentage calculator. USGS results is what percent of EPA? 0.010. Just double check it to make sure it's correct. 0.010. Okay. Is that correct over here? 0.010. Let's clear this out. That was a pretty bad reading. All right, 0.010. Now let's look at the USGS result and let's crunch some arsenic numbers. Here's arsenic, AS. AS, arsenic. We'll just do the first one, 0.13. 0.13. Calculate. 1,300 times the acceptable level. Okay, let's crunch some more. 0.37. 0.37. Calculate. 3,700 times the acceptable level. Let's look at this one. 2.5. Look at this one. 5.9. Let's see how bad 6.4 is. 6.4. Look at this one right here. 6.4. Let's crunch that one. 6.4. 64. 64,000 times. Now, is this correct? 0.010? Let's double check it. Let's just double check it and make sure. There it is, 0.010. Let's look at some other. Let's look at barium. Here it is right here, 2. Increase in blood pressure. So the maximum contaminant level is 2, so we'll change up our numbers. Get rid of this one, 2. Clear this one out. Clear this one out. Barium is on the other page. BA, but we have to go back. Let's go back to make sure. Barium, BA, barium. Okay, now let's go back. Barium, BA. Alright, 26, 29. What was the maximum contaminant level again? Barium is 2? Barium is 2? Barium is 240. Well, let's crunch that one. $12,000 times. 12,000 times the acceptable limit. The beryllium. Let's see how bad the beryllium numbers are. Alright, so these are less than 0.2, 0.1. What are the beryllium numbers? Beryllium. 0.004 intestinal lesions. Okay, let's put that in there. 0.004. Did I get that correct? Let's just double check. Let's double check everything here, since nobody else has. 0.004 intestinal lesions. Okay. So the beryllium numbers, they look pretty low. Less than what's 0.01 compared to 0.004? I wonder what that is. 0.01 is what percent of 0.004? 250 times. Small numbers, but the smaller they are, the higher they are. Let's just go to uranium, because we have to convert that one, okay? So UGs per liter is parts per billion. Now the measurements in the report were parts per million. So now we have to convert parts per billion into parts per million so we can measure. Well, there's an answer for that too. So it was 30 parts per billion. So to convert that to parts per million, 0.03. Okay, so this is the EPA reg. So this is the conversion from parts per billion to parts per million. 0.03. So let's go back to the percentage calculator. Let's put in 0.03. 0.03. Now let's make sure we did it right. Okay. 0.03. 0.03. Now let's look at some uranium readings from the USGS. Have to go to a different page. Uranium. Alright, let's see what this one, 0.86. $28.66 times. So this is my methodology. This is all that I did, just to get a benchmark, because there's no indication of what these numbers mean. If they're high, if they're low, they just wham bam. Here's a Wells. Good luck untangling this. And it's absolutely unacceptable. So in order to get a benchmark to see whether these numbers were elevated or not, I just used this. National Primary Drinking Water Regulations. So, and then to do it all on the map, I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you my whole methodology, how I created that report. Okay, these are the maps. So here's Lippman Lake, here's the effluent, here's a cap landfill, and then you get all these readings. This is the hot zone. All those dots are basically in the hot zone. These are monitoring wells for the paper mill, I believe. These are monitoring wells for Channel Master, the charade. We don't have data for. All through here, this is a trooper barracks, and this is all hot through here. This tells you the different types of wells. This is a spring, surface water, bedrock, public supply, domestic bedrock well, unconsolidated public well, unconsolidated domestic well, unconsolidated monitoring well. So regardless, people in the areas of these wells should have been notified. This gives you a little bit more about the well, and in my report I just copy and pasted these and put them on top, and then I crunch the numbers for the contamination data. So that's a report, and that was a methodology I used to create my report. I would ask that anybody wants to check it out, go ahead and check it out. And I would also challenge the Ulster County Department of Health. I would challenge the New York City Department of Environmental Protection, and I would challenge the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to look at these numbers, to crunch these numbers. And then I would ask, and I would challenge them to come to Warsing and to explain to the people of Warsing how these numbers are acceptable and why no one came and told us about them. So, I'm Corey Newton. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If I can figure out how to get this up and turn it off. Stop recording here. This is a new little program I'm not familiar with, but I think it's totally awesome. There we go. Alright guys, thanks again. Have a great weekend.